Hello and welcome to Blitz on Windstream Channel 4. I'm your host, Brian Carter. We've got interviews, highlights, and our Player of the Week on today's show. But we're going to start out here at Commerce High School with Tigers head baseball coach Steve Cotrell. Coach, thanks for your time on the show today.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be here.
Now, everyone mark your calendars. March 2 is the date that you will start your season, so you still got a little bit of ways to go, but you got to be getting pretty excited about that. This will be you're seeking your fifth straight year that you can make it to the state playoffs. What are your expectations for your team coming into this season?
Well, we graduated 5 seniors last year that had been here, been through the wars. But the good thing is we've got a group of freshmen, and we've got some upperclassmen that's been around too and put in a lot of work. And our expectations are, to compete for a region championship every year. So we're not going to make the excuse that we're going to be young in some spots. We're going to expect to get it done and see what happens at the end.
Now, as we mentioned, 4 straight years in a row you've made it to the state playoffs, but particularly the last 2 seasons, you've had back-to-back 21 seasons and made it to the Sweet 16. What does a team like yours this year have to do to kind of get over that hump of just, getting to the playoffs and getting past the Sweet 16?
Well, it's funny you asked that, Brian. I mean, I've been pondering that pretty much the whole off season. I think it's a good thing that we're going to have a bunch of new faces. Mm-hmm. So as far as that hump, maybe we don't see that hump or that mountain to get over. Maybe we'll be just young and immature enough to, all we'll know what to do is to win and, get over that hump and see what the success is once we get to the Elite 8 or Final 4 or whatever.
And this year is going to be different than in years past because of the reclassification. They've made it now to where in Class 1A, you're still going to be in the same region with all of those private schools, but when you get into, the playoffs, everything changes. You've got, public and private schools. Give your thoughts on that.
I think that, for schools like Commerce and schools, that are in the public school situation, it's kind of even things out a little bit. Mm-hmm. I don't want to get into great detail of my thoughts and stuff like that, but, we felt like last year that, as a team, we could compete against any public school in the state of Georgia. Now, in saying that wasn't how things were set up. I like the way it's going. I still think there's going to be some kinks that we've got to work out along the way, but it's a start anyway.
Now, you talked about having to lose 5 seniors from last year's team, and this year you're bringing back 2 of your big seniors, though. How much of, how important are they, first of all, to the team, and then how much of their success that they'll have individually likely translate to the entire team's success? Well,
it's going to be a very important role those 2 play. Only having 2 seniors and, pretty much most of your team being underclassmen, the maturity, the leadership and all that's going to play a major role, not just in games but in practices, mm-hmm. getting you mentally prepared, helping certain kids in certain situations when they don't understand, because you know how it is. I mean, it's how you relate to a kid. Mm-hmm. And I think the 2 that we've got, they get along with pretty much everybody. So a lot of those younger kids are looking up to those 2 guys.
Now, Coach, last question for you, then we'll let you go. But, we mentioned March 2nd being the start of your season, so you got to be excited about that, once again. But talk about what is called the Day at the Diamond, where you guys start your season, and you're actually going to be playing a game at 10 in the morning, actually, and then closing the thing out at 7 at night. Talk about that.
Well, I set up the schedule for teams that come out of town, mm-hmm. so they don't have to be there first in the morning, and they're not the last teams leaving a lot of times. But I like kicking it off with us first and then ending the day down, with us playing on the gridiron. So our kids, our young guys, and even our middle school kids get to see all the teams, mm-hmm. and be part of that and, hopefully look forward to it when they're in high school.
Well, Steve, thank you again for your time here on Blitz. We appreciate it and look forward to seeing how far your Tigers go this year.
Thank you, Brian.
Now, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to have one of his players here on Blitz.